and also we understood what are the different versions where SAP has brought into for all the years. Okay, different versions and understanding SAP architecture. Okay, and what are the different advantages and what are the key advantages of SAP, I mean SAP, and also understanding of what are the different projects in SAP system. Okay, also different modules, what are the technical and functional modules in SAP which are frequently used. As I mentioned, these are the different advantages for SAP S/4HANA system. And after learning SAP, what are the different roles that you can work in SAP as a end user, as a consultant? So the system landscape, it's where we should do the configuration settings in the development server, the testing in the quality, and we'll move changes to the production server. It is all about system landscape. Any questions? Any questions, madam? Prasad? Okay. So now let us understand SAP implementation methodologies. When I say implementation, just imagine that you're working as SAP consultant. You know how to do the config settings in SAP. You know everything about SAP now. Now you're working as a SAP consultant for any implementation partner like Deloitte or TCS or Tech Mahindra or any company, any implementation consulting company. Okay. So now you are implementing to Verizon, where Verizon presently using some Tally or Oracle system. Presently they are using some Tally system. Just imagine. Now Verizon wants to shift to SAP. As a consultant, what will be our role now? Okay, now the project starts. So SAP has a different methodologies. One is accelerated SAP methodology, and we have some agile methodology. We have activate methodology. Okay, we are using 3 to 4 methodologies. Coming back to the first one, ASAP methodology. This is ASAP methodology means accelerated uh, SAP methodology, which is a methodology which is used for implementing SAP solutions. So methodology which is used for implementing SAP solutions. Now, the first phase, project preparation phase. Just imagine what will be your if you're starting any project, what will be the different instances. Let us understand. We'll understand what is the project scope. What will be my project scope for Verizon for implementation? I need to understand, right? What are the applications that I'm going to implement SAP? So just imagine Verizon has many applications. They are using Tally, Oracle, Concur system, n number of third-party applications they are using. Now, during project preparation phase, there will be at a high level discussion. High level discussion, what are the applications will be brought into SAP implementation. Here, that the project management team will decide what are the different applications will get into SAP system. Okay, and we'll decide what are the roles and responsibilities. When I say roles and responsibilities, not only from the SAP side, from the team side, from the implementation side, but also from the client side. So just imagine I'm working as SAP FI consultant, someone will work as SAP CO consultant, someone will work as a SAP consultant, SD consultant, basis team, ABAPers, right? So all the team from the SAP side. At the same time, when I am FI consultant, so from the client side also we need someone, right, from the client side who knows business process, client's business process from the financial accounting perspective. So from the Verizon business side also we'll have all the teams, all the areas. So, but in the project preparation phase itself, it will be clearly decided what I will be working, what you will be working, what SD guy will be working, in what areas will be working. So when I worked for client IKEA, so I was working for GL lead. Okay, I was working for GL lead. So another person was working on the tax lead as a tax lead. So as a GL lead, I'll be taking care of all the financial accounting GL related activities with the client. So in this phase itself, it will be decided which models to be implemented. So SD module, MM module, FI module, CO module, what are the areas will be decided. So everything will be finalized here. What we are going to discuss or finalize the modules or applications in this phase. And also, this is another important timelines and objectives. What will be the duration for project preparation phase? What will be the duration for business blueprint phase? What will be the duration for release phase? Go. So likewise, you will decide what will be the timelines. Usually, typically for small, medium enterprises, the SAP implementation will be something around 1 year, or it could be 6 or 7 months. Sometimes very big companies, if you consider like big companies, for example, when I implemented IKEA, it took around 2 years, since it is very large scale industry, very large retail company, which has all over the India subsidiaries. It depends upon the business size, whether it's a large industry, whether large sized business or middle sized business or lower sized business. So in each phase, what will be your objectives? What should be the target objectives? What should be covered? What discussions we should get covered, and timelines? So what is the plan for go live? What is the plan for migration? So everything will be update here during project preparation phase. This is something, so a consultant, I don't think the consultant will be involved here near, I mean, a person who has more than 15 or 20 years. This is something related to project management, who has very extensive experience in SAP, because this is something that you have to discuss with your client, with the client management. The same time from the SAP side also, the project management will be discussed, will discuss with the client during project preparation phase, who has very extensive experience, who has very some large experience, like something around 10 or 15 or 20 years of experience. A person who has so much of years of experience, then he will be involved in the project preparation phase. So we'll have project team also. We have separate team for tracking the activities, where we are, what we are doing, what should be done, everything. So every project will have some certain tools for tracking. So SAP has some tool called Solution Manager. Okay, it's a standard SAP's. So not only Solution Manager, some people will use Jira application for tracking everything, and some will use what you say, even HP also, HPLM, application lifecycle management tool, for tracking everything. Now nowadays, no, most of the clients are using Jira application for tracking, and of course a Solution Manager. So in the project preparation phase, we'll cover the project scope, what are the applications and what are the modules need to be implemented. We'll decide, and we also decide what are the roles and responsible for each person, for each consultant, and from the SAP side, from the business side as well. Okay, and also we decide timelines and objectives. A separate project team will be there where they will track all the activities. Is that clear? Okay, so coming back to the business blueprint phase, this is again very important phase. So we have completed project preparation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, did I missed out, or then you would have told me, right? Okay, let me discuss again. Okay, so we have different phases. You would have told me, Prasad, initially. Fine, no worries. So we have different phases for implementing SAP solutions. As I discussed, the first is the project preparation phase. So here we cover project scope. We'll decide roles and responsibilities for the from the business side and from the client side and from the delight implementation side. Who will be working, and it will be decided for each consultants. Which models need to be implemented? What are the different, I mean, from the SAP side, we'll discuss with the business what models that they required to be implemented in SAP, whether they need FI, they need CO, whether they need MM model, whether they need SD model, so on. Timelines and objectives will be defined. So when this phase should be get completed, it's a plan. Business blueprint phase, when it should get completed. Likewise, what will be your go live? What will be your cutover go live? Okay, project team. Of course, there will be separate team where they will track all the activities for the project management. So as I given, it's a couple of examples. Nowadays, people are using Jira application for tracking everything, or the clients are using SAP as a solution manager tool. Okay, so during project preparation phase, as I mentioned, this is something where someone should have something more than 10 or 15 years of experience. Then only he will be involved in the project preparation phase. So this is all about your project preparation phase. Business blueprint phase. This is where we are like into the picture now. As a consultant who has something 5 6 years experience or 8 years experience who is working as a lead. Okay, so now we'll understand the business process. We'll understand business process as a FI consultant from the SAP teams, from the Delight, from the implementation side. As a SAP FI consultant, I will discuss with the business now. I'll understand their business process. What is their current business process? And also understand, we'll schedule the calls. Give me a minute. Someone is knocking the door. Sorry, guys. So, under the business blueprint phase, we'll understand the business process of the client. Okay. Also, as a FI consultant, I will conduct some meetings which are called like workshops where I will get the business requirements for the each topic. Okay. So the workshops will be conducted by consultants where we'll ask for on each area. We'll discuss with the business client with the business team. We'll get all the requirements as I mentioned here. As is existing business process, we'll prepare one document of our understanding existing business processes. We'll prepare one documentation called blueprint. In that blueprint document, we'll mention clearly what is their current business, what is their current business, as is business process, what will be their future business process. This is called blueprint document. So blueprint document which states that which describes very clearly what is the Verizon's current business and what should be the future business in SAP to be business process. Next is fit and gap analysis. Yes, yes. So this is a fit and gap analysis, something where each and every business requirement from the business side will not fit. For some of the scenarios will not fit in SAP. For those where ABAPers will come into picture, they will develop the programs. Okay. So if the functionality is fitting in SAP, then it is called as fit. Gap is something where we are not able to meet business requirement. In that case, where ABAPers will come into picture, they will develop the programs as per the business requirement. So as a FI consultant, it's my responsibility that I need to take a business requirement from them. Then I need to coordinate with the ABAP team to develop the programs. So in between there is a functional specification document. So functional specification document, which is used as a reference for technical team, it will be mentioned very clearly saying that what is a business requirement and how it should be designed in SAP system, the business requirement. So based on the functional specification, technical team will develop the technical specification. They proceed with the technical development in SAP system, writing the coding and so on. So at high level, fit and gap analysis is, so if the requirement is fit in SAP, we'll do the configuration as per the standard SAP. And gap is something where if it is not fit in SAP, then we'll ask technical team to develop the programs. So documentation, yes, we need documentation for as is and to be, which is a blueprint document. And also we need, as I mentioned, if and we will prepare some configuration documents. Okay, if it is a fit, and we also prepare some functional specification documents, which is used as a reference for the technical team. So basically we prepare some documentations here, and even during workshops also we'll prepare some, we need to prepare some PPTs because we need to explain them. What is our, so from the financial accounting perspective, what is your general ledger accounting? What is your accounts receivable? What is accounts payable? Asset accounting. So on each topic, on each subtopic, we'll discuss with them. So I need to prepare some workshop PPTs also to get the requirements with the business. At last, if your as is and to be If the client is very happy with the to be process, what should be done in SAP for their client for their entire business process in SAP? If they are okay, then they will provide the user sign off copy. The Verizon should provide user sign off copy. So based on this user sign off only, we'll proceed with your next phase. Otherwise, the discussions will prolong. I mean, it will be a repetitive discussions until we convince user, until we convince business what should be, what it will be, how it will be done in SAP, what will be the future design in SAP. The sign off is very important because to proceed further, to start actual practicals in the system, what should be done from the financial accounting perspective, what should be done from the SD side, side, and so other modules, HR side, and so on. So once we get sign off copy from the business side, we'll start doing in the system because we already discussed with the business during workshops. I got the details, and also we decided in the blueprint what needs to be done in SAP. Now I know everything what needs to be defined in SAP system. Now we'll start realization phase. So in realization phase, as a SAP consultant from the my side, from financial accounting, from which is my area, right? So I'll start doing configuration settings in the system, whether it's a GL, AP, or whatever it may be. So the settings will be done based on the requirement, business requirement. So this is something that during development in the system landscape, in the development phase, in the system landscape, on the development system, I'll do the configuration settings. If the settings are fine, then I'll move changes to the test system. I'll do the testing here, unit testing here. Okay. So basically during this phase, we'll do the configuration settings. Every consultant, all the module consultants will do the settings, and at the same time they will do the testing. They perform the unit testing. We also prepare configuration documents, the configuration documents, test cases, test documents, and so on. And functional, we as a functional consultant also prepares functional specification. So based on the functional specifications, developers will start developing the programs. This is something where if the requirement is not met in SAP system, which is gap and which is gap. Okay. So anyhow, every client will have some certain standard templates. We'll use the configuration templates, user guide templates. So we'll use templates. Based on the templates we go ahead and write the documentation part, writing FS or writing configuration document and so on, test cases and so on. So this realization phase, it's all about your configuring the system and testing the system. This realization phase will be done from our side only. There is no, I mean, so if you think if you have some questions or if you have something which is missing, then we'll connect to during, I mean, we'll connect with the client, and we'll get the details. Again, we'll proceed with our activity. You can say repetitive phase here. If you want some business details, if you want some, if you're like, if you did not get the full information for your to proceed with your configuration, we'll discuss with the client again. The discussions will go on, continue with the client, with the business. This is realization phase. Final preparation, yes. Now we are just closely to the, we're very close to go live. Final preparation. So what we'll do in the final preparation, we group, I mean, what you said, the testing, for, whether it is a unit testing, whether it's integration testing, or when I say integration testing, so integration testing in the sense, I mean, it's not one single model. So for example, if purchase order is raised right in the module, after that we receive goods received from the suppliers, we receive materials from the suppliers. At that time, system automatically update your accounting system, accounting books of books of accounts. Okay, in the books of accounts it will get updated that we received materials for the so and so purchases. So integration, right? You are usually you are like processing data from module, but it's getting updated in accounting also. So we'll test everything during integration testing. This is your final preparation. Okay, usually this will be done in the another system. Of course, we'll do it in unit testing also, but this is something at major business processes will cover all the scenarios. Now user training part. Now Verizon side users are there, end users are there who are working on Tally or Oracle as on today. Now they are shifting to SAP. They don't know anything SAP, how to process the transaction. Now it is our responsibility as a consultant. It is my responsibility. I need to train users how to process the transaction. Okay. So that we need to take care of training with the users. We need to train all the areas. So as FI consultant, I'll be training all the areas to them. So based on the training, they will also do some testing in the quality system. They will also perform as per their business requirement. They know what is their business requirement. They will perform the testing from the business side. Okay. And we'll provide documentation to the users, user guide documents. So based on the user guide documentation, users will start proceeding with their testing the activities, all the scenarios. So once if they're very happy with the requirement, once if they are happy with the results, okay, once you have performed testing, you have the results, right? Expected results. So if they're happy with the expected results, they will provide the sign off. Again, this is another important sign off. Without this sign off, we cannot proceed further. So this sign off means that user has accepted the SAP system, how their current business process. I mean, in SAP, whatever we define config settings, they're happy. The testing results, they're happy. Now they're providing the sign off, user sign off copy. Based on this user kind sign off copy, we'll proceed for the other activities like data migration. Now Oracle system, okay, Verizon is using some Oracle or Tally system. Now they have the data, GL data, accounts payable data, accounts receivable data, asset accounting data. Now the data needs to be moved to the SAP system. That is called, it's part of your data migration, that you have to get the data into SAP system. It is called data migration. You are migrating data from non-SAP system to SAP system. Your client data to the SAP system, your business. So we have some couple of tools in SAP. We'll call as LSNW, Legacy System Migration Workbench, which is a little technical tool. BDC also technical tool, batch data communication, and this is MYD. MYD means migrate your data. SAP has brought some new Fury app applications. So this is something we'll be working with the master data team to migrate the data. In some companies, master data, like we have different master data, GL master data, customer master data, supplier master data, cost centers, so on. We'll have transactional data also, right? So what is transactional data? Like customer invoice, vendor payment, customer payment, right? This is called transactional data. So for moving master data and transactional data to SAP, we'll use in SAP, we have some migrate your data application. It's a data migration application. By using SAP has provided some templates for each master data and for each transactional data. SAP has provided some templates. By using those templates, we'll migrate the data. We'll upload the data to SAP system. Now the next one is preparing for cutover activities. Now we need to start for the go. We need to plan all the activities for the go live. So basically, your migration, data migration is also one area for cutover. I mean, it's part of your cutover activities. We'll decide the cutover date also. Which date will be, I mean, for the business from the Verizon side, what will be the last date for using Oracle system or Tally system from their side? So that will be your, and I mean, what will be the last date and what will be your first date in SAP system? On which date you are going to move your SAP system? In between, some date should be there, right? Cutover date. You will stop all business activities in your existing system, Tally or Oracle system. You will decide some cutover date over there. Okay, then you will move your data to the SAP system. Now the data has been moved to the production, go live. The entire data has been moved to the production system. Now once everything is moved, of course the client, the business team, the Verizon system, the Verizon business will start working in SAP system now. Since we moved everything, the configuration settings and everything has been moved to the, even master data, even transactional data, everything is moved to the production. Now they have stopped using their existing system. Now they can start using SAP system. Users can start posting the transactions. Users can start doing activities in production system now. Now the system is ready for business. Of course, in production also you will see a number of issues. As a SAP consultant, now I'll be part of support and maintenance team. I'll resolve all the issues. Whatever the users is facing issues, right? They will raise the tickets, they will raise the incidents, they will update in somewhere in the tool. So it will get triggered to the team. So we'll go through the ticket and we'll understand what is the issue. If required, I will take a call with the users. We'll understand the issue. We'll provide the resolution as well, right? So this is all about your support and maintenance. So as a consultant, so I'm the SAP implementation consultant, right? As a consultant, I have involved in implementation phases, all the phases. I know what is a business that we defined here. So again, when I'm going to move from this project now, I'm going to another project. Okay. Before going, I mean, so it is our responsibility that we need to give KT to the support maintenance team. Support maintenance team will be a separate team. So I'll be providing the complete KT knowledge transfer, KT to the support maintenance team. Support maintenance team is a team where they are going to work right for this project, for this client, as per the SLS service level agreements, or 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. It depends upon the contract between support team and the client. Okay. So as I mentioned here, KT is transition to support team. So I'll be involved in KT. I'll be providing support. So I'll be supporting some 2 to 3 months, which is called hypercare support, 2 to 3 months. So we as a implementation consulting team and support team will work together for 2 to 3 months for the client. Slowly we'll come out from this project. Support team will continue supporting business. Any questions? So here, so if you look at here, so as this is one methodology. It's a, if you like consider like all the previous before 2015, 17, I mean most of the clients were used by using this methodology, ASAP methodology, which is accelerated SAP methodology. So project preparation phase, this is a phase where where it will decide which models need to be implemented, which applications need to get into SAP system, what are the roles and responsibilities, what are the timelines for this project, what are the objectives that you are going to do. I mean, what is your target objectives for this project will be defined everything under project preparation phase. As I mentioned, this is something who has very extensive experience will be involved in project preparation phase. We have something around 10, 15, 20 years of experience. Belongs to project management team. Business blueprint phase, blueprint. So blueprint means as is and to be. As is understanding existing business process of the client. To be means how we are going to design an SAP system for the business, for the existing business processes. So here we'll decide, here we conduct the workshops, we conduct the meetings with the client, we'll understand the business requirement, we'll prepare the some documentation, we'll guide them what will be the SAP system, how we are going to design an SAP system. At last will take the sign off copy, blueprint sign off copy from the business side. So based on this blueprint sign off copy, we'll proceed with further activity. We'll proceed with the further activities like configuration in the system, testing in the system, some documentation part. Also, we'll coordinate with the technical team for developing the programs. Final preparation, it's a final testing where we'll perform a complete testing from the unit testing perspective, from integration testing perspective, and also providing user training to the users and some documentation part. And also we'll start preparing migration activities, cutover activities. But before that, we'll get sign off copy from the business saying that they're happy with the existing process in, I mean the design process in SAP, because since they already tested all the scenarios here just before providing the sign off copy. This is called user acceptance test. UAT sign off is very important. User acceptance test. So once they provide the sign off, we'll proceed with the data migration activities. What are the data migration activities? Usually we have master data, transactional data. So you have to bring your data from non-SAP system to SAP system, from Tally to SAP, or Oracle Financials to SAP system. So it could be master data or transactional data. And also we need to decide what will be the cutover date. So you have to stop your existing current business in your using Oracle application or a Tally, and you have to move your data to SAP, and you have to what is your date starting your posting in transactions in SAP system. So some date should be there, cutover date. So in the name itself, it's there cut. You are cutting your existing systems, Oracle or Tally. What will be the last date? Go live. If once everything is fine, then so users will, once the changes are moved to the production, will move changes to the production. The date, master data, transactional data, everything will be moved to the production, right? After cutover date. Now users are ready to use production system, SAP system in the production system. Support and maintenance, yes, obviously for every client, for every project, whether it's not only SAP, even Java, .NET, any technology needs some support, right? So issues, you will see the issues where users will face some issues. So we'll rectify the issues, we'll provide the resolutions, we'll discuss with them, and we'll provide the resolutions. So this comes under support and maintenance project. Of course, as a SAP consultant, since I have involved in implementation, I know what is my current business, what is the business process, what I implemented for client. So it is my role that I need to provide some KT to the support team, support and maintenance team, knowledge transfer. So I'll be supporting with them, both support maintenance team and we as SAP implementation partners, both together will support business, Verizon business as part of hypercare support. This will be usually it will be 2 or 3 months or 4 times sometimes, 4 months also, because to stabilize the things. And even support team should understand, right? Because we involved everything, we know what is the business process. They don't know anything, so we'll be supporting them. Together we'll be working with the business team. These are the different phases for implementing SAP. Any questions on this, guys? Okay. Now, if you understand this, right, then you will understand other methodologies also. It's the same activities. There will be no difference, right? The activities will be the same. The only thing is the different names. Names are little different. So SAP has brought one more methodology called SAP Activate methodology. Okay, for implementing SAP. Now, this phase has different phases like discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run. So I just made, so I had given some short form DP, ER, DR. Okay. So discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run. So this also same again. If you look at here during discover phase, this phase involves understanding the business requirement. That's what we discussed, right? During our project preparation, I mean during business blueprint phase, we'll discuss the requirements. Defining the scope, project scope, yes, we'll define. I mean during project preparation phase, we'll define the scope. What are the different modules need to be implemented? What are the different what do you say applications need to bring into SAP system? So we'll decide at the project preparation phase, defining the scope. Identifying potential solutions, yes, for each requirement. So what will be the solutions in SAP for the different business requirements here? We'll provide the solutions. Again, it's part of your blueprint phase. Under preparation phase, the project team set up the technical environment. Yeah, this is something little technical perspective where basis team will provide will they will organize what you say they will create one system, right? Development server, the quality server, production server. It's a technical systems, technical units where we'll start working in the systems. So project side from our side, from SAP side, technical environments conducts initial workshops. So we conduct the initial workshops with the business, understanding the business requirements, defines a project plan. Again, this is part of your project preparation where the project management team will plan the objectives, what needs to be covered in what are the timelines here for the different phases. Explore, the team elaborates the requirements. Yes, as a FI consultant, definitely it's my responsibility that I'll elaborate all the business requirements and configure the system. Yes, I'll do the configuration settings in the system and also conducts a testing, test part, iterative testing. Iterative means it's a repetitive testing. I will configure the system. I will do the configuration settings. Then I will do the testing. If the results are not matching with the business requirement, then I will redo again. Redo the I will do the changes in the configuration settings. Again, I will do the testing. So iterative testing means repetitive testing to validate the solution. Of course, as per the solution, until I get the expected result, I'll proceed with the configuration changes and testing. It's part of your realization phase. Realize involves the final configuration. Yes, during your realization phase, will perform the final testing and we'll do the final configuration. Completing system integration. Again, integration testing here. Preparing for the production environment. Now they have started migration activities in this phase. Of course, in our normal SAP methodology, so during realization phase, we'll start cutover activities, preparing the production environment, which is nothing but preparing, you are making ready for the cutover activities like data migration and so on. Deploy, the solution is deployed to the production environment. So the changes are in the production system. You have moved all the changes to the production system, that the master data and your transactional data, and closely monitor for the issues. They have started working in the system. Users are started working in the system. Run covers the transition from project mode to the operations, where the system is actively used by the business. So they have shifted from project phase, SAP implementation project phase to now business is started using the SAP system, which is now it is called as operational mode. I mean, basically they are like operating business in SAP system. So the different sentences are little different, but the same activities. There is no difference here. And what you say, the different your phase names also, like a discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, run. The same activity. The activities will not change, right? The activities will not change. The only thing is you are changing the descriptions of the phase names. So this is SAP Activate methodology. So nowadays I had seen some companies are using Agile methodology. Not only SAP, some other technologies are also using Agile methodology. Why this is not getting scrolled? Okay, we'll understand what is Agile methodology. So Agile methodology, again, similar, you'll have the same thing, but we are dividing the activities into pieces, dividing the activities into different, what do you say, which is called sprints. If you look at here on the right side, so in Agile methodology, we'll have sprints, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, sprint 5, sprints, so on. So under under sprint 1, what are my objectives, what I should get covered. So we'll decide during initial phase itself what I will be covering under sprint 1. So I'll discuss on enterprise structure, under sprint 2 on the accounts receivable, under sprint 3 accounts payable, sprint 4 asset accounting. If at all, if I'm not able to complete here, this will move forward to the next sprint. Can you mute yourself, guys? So you will decide in each sprint what you're going to do. If you're not able to complete under this one sprint, this will move to the next sprint. Usually it will be between 1 or 2 months. Usually some ha timelines. Exactly. So this way of working, it will come under agile methodology. So here if you look at here, the number one, requirements and definitions and analysis of concepts. Yes, a business requirements, right? Analysis of concepts and requirements definitions, determining the current state, your expectations. So current state is as is process. What is their current business process? The business. Number two, planning of sprints, as I mentioned here. In each sprint, what you are going to do? Roles and responsibilities. Okay. So planning of sprints, arrange teams and tools needed for optimize the production to optimize production. Yes. Sprint 3, from the beginning of the process, the end user's involvement and feedback is critical. Of course, collaborative design development, we need to discuss, right? We need to get the business requirements and everything that will be done only with the help of business team. So together from the implementation side, we as consultants from the implementation side and stakeholders from the business side. Discuss fourth one, frequent development or delivery through sprint. Feedback on the testing, appropriate changes and are imperative. Of course, in each sprint, there will be some discussions. Once when at the end of the sprint one, After sprint one completion, you will have some couple of meetings, which is called sprint retrospective. Retrospective is nothing but getting feedback from the sprint leads from the business side. We'll ask them if they are satisfied or not. What are the other changes that we can modify to develop the project? I mean, based on the feedback only, right? We can improve the changes. Okay, so some couple of meetings will be conducted after each sprint, which will provide feedback from the client business side. So this is all about your at last. Of course, the fourth one again here, create and implement. Yes, frequent development delivery through sprints, feedback on the testing and appropriateness are imperative. Basically, you are implementing your SAP here in you are getting everything to SAP system from your non-SAP to SAP. Review and monitor. Yes, the production activities are started. Now users are using a production system. So this is all about your agile methodology. As I mentioned, this methodology is not only used for SAP, but it is used for all other technologies as well. Agile methodology, which is universal methodology for implementing or developing the system. Now, tell me guys, have any questions? Agile methodology or SAP Activate methodology or like SAP ASAP methodology? If you understand, one methodology is the same thing. Other method it's the same activities you will do. So, in short, what we can say, you are as a in implementation, what you will do, you will discuss with the business team. I will get the requirements. You will perform the configuration settings in the system. We'll test it. Then we'll ask you business to test. They'll provide the sign off copy. We'll move changes to the production. It's the same activities. There is no change. But this is not easy. We completed maybe in 30 minutes. I closed everything. But in real time, each phase will take some long time. Depends upon the size of the business. It may take 3 months, 4 months each phase. Depends on the business size of the business size, right? So, if I take if I, the implementations where I worked, it took something around 1 year, 2 years also. So the client which I worked, it took almost 1.5 year for the project preparation phase, 1.5 year, and 2 years for the implementation. It took almost 3.5 years to complete this project when I was working with the IKEA client. There are certain small businesses also. It may cover in 8 months. It may cover in 6 months. It may cover in 12 months or 14 months. Depends of the size of the business. So you will be working as a PC consultant from the implementation side. From the Verizon side, all the Verizon business stakeholders will be there to discuss with us. This is very, very important, guys. I mean, once you start working in SAP system, I mean, when you once you start working in SAP technology, then if you are involved in implementation, you should know all these areas. Without having this, I mean, without having any knowledge, without having any exposure, right? Without understanding this concept, then it will be difficult directly like working in the system or working in real time. At least you should be familiar with the terminologies. So initially, they will not put you in the project preparation phase. They'll put you from the business blueprint phase or from the realization phase, the configuring the system. Okay, that is all about your SAP methodology, different methodologies for implementing SAP solutions. Any questions on the methodologies? Okay, so let us understand. Now I'm little practical. I'm just getting into the practical now. So SAP has two screens. One screen is where end users will work in easy access screen. So easy access screen where end users will post the transactions, perform the data, process the data. Like they will post customer invoice or customer payment or vendor invoice, vendor payment, sales orders, purchase orders, goods receipt, delivery, billings. Everything will be there. Like transactions, performing the data will be done by the users, end users. So end users will be using GUI system. So this is called GUI system. So this is called Okay, today. So this is called GI system. System is dead slow. Yeah. So SAP also provided Fury apps, web-based Fury applications. So actually this has been developed from around 2016-17, from 15 onwards. SAP has brought a Fury applications as well, where they can work via web-based. Okay, from the website they can work, and they can use different media as mentioned here. They can use a desktop or laptops or tablets, mobile. So they can use even mobiles also from home. I mean, by using mobiles also they can perform the transactions as I mentioned, customer invoice, customer payment, for example. They can use the mobile, they can perform the transactions. Okay, by using Fury applications. Where GUI needs, of course, GUI needs some laptop definitely or a desktop application. GUI means graphic user interface. Okay, graphic user interface. So this is all about your easy access screen, whereas implementation screen is done will be used by SAP consultants. We design the system, we configure the system as per the business requirement. We customize the system. So we have two screens. One is SAP easy access screen, another one is IMG screen. Two screens. So in easy access, anyhow, users will be working during UAT phase and production system. And also for the consultants, of course, we need to test the requirement, right? We'll be using some development system, not a production system. And consultants will have display access. The production system will have, I mean, we'll be having only display access, the production system, because we are not going to do data processing production. So sometimes there are certain scenarios where we need to perform some manual changes in the production. We'll be using firefighter access or super user ID access. So there every year we need to perform. Yeah, sorry, not required, Prasad. I'll explain them. So super user ID. So this is ID where you can perform some changes in the production system. Either you can use firefighter or super. Usually it's a different synonym names. If you want to do some changes in the production directly, but this is given with approval, proper approvals. Any questions? So this is your SAP login pad. Okay, we'll have the servers here. Look at here. So so here we'll have all the details. So what is your system? What is your client? And other details, technical details. Providing will be getting some user and password details. So this is easy access. As I mentioned, easy access will be used by end users. Will perform the transactions. HR team process transactions, logistics like purchase order, sales order, all logistic transactions will be performed here. Accounting. If you look at here, accounting under financial accounting, you can see accounts receivable, accounts payable, GL, fixed assets, banks. So we'll be performing all accounting related transactions under this node by the end users. They'll process the data. Whereas IMG part, SPRO, which is IMG, reference IMG. IMG means implementation guide. So here, as a consultant, I know what needs to be configured for the client business, because since we already gone through your project preparation phase, blueprint phase, right? Now we know what needs to be configured. So I will configure all the areas. So my relevant areas, financial accounting areas. So SD consultant will configure SD areas. Consultant will configure areas. So likewise, consultant will use IMG screens. So users will not have access to IMG screens. So we have security separate consultant module, right? Basis and security. So security team will not give access to it, they will not give access easily. And SAP system is very restricted from the security perspective. I will be not having SD related transactions. they will be not having I mean FI related transactions access. So every consultant have their relevant roles. Even users also. Accounts receivable person will not have access to the accounts payable person, accounts payable transactions. Accounts payable will not have access to the accounts receivable transaction. So security is very important here. Secure here the security is very restricted. Access is not provided easily, and we need some sufficient approvals also. So this is all about your easy access screen and understanding of IMG screen. That's it. So understanding of the screens, understanding of your different SAP method for implementing SAP, different methodologies for implementing SAP. Any questions? Just go through the video a couple of times, okay? Then it will be more clear for you. So in tomorrow's class, we'll start practical. What is company code, business error, and so on. So now you just imagine that you are implementing SAP. We'll see what are the configuration settings required from the training perspective and from the company code perspective. We'll discuss all these settings in tomorrow's class.